So you've gone natural and you realize with disappointment that you don't have access to all the fancy products that you've seen in YouTube videos. Now what? And do you need all these fancy products to have a successful hair journey anyway? Do you? Let's discuss. Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Flora. If you're new here, on this channel I talk about natural hair care. I share tips on how to care for your natural hair. I do hair tutorials on myself and on my daughters, so you're very welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and when you do, click on the notification bell below so that you'll be notified each time that I post videos. You'll notice this video has been done on 2 separate occasions. I started it and I wasn't able to finish. So here I am after doing my African threading, as you can see here. And I actually have a tutorial on how I stretch my hair using African thread. I'm going to share that with you when it's ready. But I want to talk today about a topic, as I mentioned before, that is really dear to my heart because it's something that I personally dealt with when I first went natural. I first went natural 7 years back, and at the time I still lived in Cameroon, in Africa. And one thing that I quickly realized was that I wasn't able to get those products that I saw in YouTube videos. So I would see as hairstyle and I want to imitate the style, so I'm trying to get the same product that I saw, and it just wasn't there. For me, I have no illusions that everyone watching is able to get the product. I know that sometimes it's a challenge in some parts of the world to access all the different fancy brand names and all that. So this video is to address this issue, like, do you really need all these hair products that you see? Like, which ones are optional? Which ones can you do without? And the main things that I want to talk about are the shampoo, conditioner, which is, conditioner is 3 types. There's a rinse out conditioner, the leave-in conditioner, and the deep conditioner. And then there is creams, and then oils and butters. So I want to talk about these 5 different types of products, right? Let's get right into it. So shampoo, right? When I first went natural, I quickly realized that I couldn't just use the shampoo that I was using when I was relaxed. They said, everywhere that I looked, it was said that you cannot use sulfate shampoos. And I was like, what is that? I had no clue what it was. And I won't lie to you, it's only recently that I've actually really understood why sulfate shampoos are discouraged in natural hair. So briefly, sulfate shampoos are those that have sulfate ingredients in the shampoo, right? And sulfates are ingredients that, among other things, they create, like, they use in cleansing products, and they produce, the foam that you get when you wash something. When you wash your hair, you see the suds that are created. They are mostly caused by sulfates, and even non-sulfate shampoos will have them, but sulfate shampoos are known to have this. And sulfate shampoos, they cleanse your hair thoroughly, like they get rid of all the buildup, all the oils, everything. Like, they thoroughly clean your hair. And so it was being discouraged in the natural hair community because they tend to dry out your hair a lot because they clean too well. Who knew that was a thing, right? So they clean too well and they can lead to dryness. And you know that as naturals, we already have a problem of, our hair is prone to dryness because the strands are not straight, they're curls. So, nutrients or whatever products, they take a while to travel down the strand due to the nature of the strands, because they curl. So already we have that dryness problem, and so when you're using the sulfate shampoos, you exacerbate the dryness. That is why sulfate shampoos are discouraged, among other things, right? So when I went natural, I was like, I have to get my hands on non-sulfate shampoo. But like I mentioned, there's only this one store that sold non-sulfate shampoos, the Cantus and the Shea Moistures, and they were expensive. And it's not realistic to expect everybody to be able to afford that. When you live in America, you kind of take it for granted. You can just walk into a Walmart, into a beauty supply store, grab it off the shelf. It's not that expensive. I mean, unless you're going for the really expensive brands. But how realistic is it to get this product in some parts of the world? Don't feel like you only have to do the non-sulfate. If you cannot get your hands on the non-sulfate shampoo, still go ahead and use the sulfate shampoo. I don't think it's a deal breaker. You just have to make sure that after you wash your hair, you follow up with a deep conditioning treatment. Since the problem with the sulfate shampoo is the dryness that it causes, then you make sure that you deep condition at the end, after the shampoo, so that you put back that moisture into your curls, right? So which brings us into the subject of conditioners. So conditioners come in 3 types, and I didn't know this before going natural. I only knew about the rinse out conditioner, which was what, when you, as a relaxed person, you go to a salon, they shampoo your hair, then they put this conditioner, comb your hair out, and then rinse it. That was it after a few minutes. I didn't know about deep conditioners, which I think we mostly call it treatment in Cameroon. I don't know why we call it treatment. So when they say you're getting a hair treatment, you know that you're getting like a hair mask or some kind of deep conditioning treatment. And that wasn't something that I got all the time. It was like rarely, I knew that I had to spend extra for this treatment. But as someone who's natural, you cannot skip on the deep conditioning treatment. I feel like it's something that you really need, especially if you're using the sulfate shampoos. You want to make sure that you're putting back that moisture into your strands. You don't want your hair to start going, dry for a long time, because that really affects your growth. It affects, your hair breaks out more easily and, breaks off more easily. So a rinse out conditioner, for me, I don't really use, for me it's not like a must. If you cannot get your hands on a rinse out conditioner, to me it's fine as long as you're going to do a deep conditioning treatment. If you have access to it, that's fine. But one thing that I wouldn't skip on is the deep conditioner and the leave-in conditioner, right? You try to get your hands on the leave-in conditioner because it's something that you use sort of as your base when you're moisturizing your hair. So the leave-in conditioner is kind of, it has a more watery texture. Compared to the rinse out conditioner and the deep conditioner, and that's because it has a lot of water. It's made up mostly, it's water based. That's how it should be. And so you use it after you've shampooed your hair and deep conditioned it, and you're getting ready maybe to style your hair or whatever. Then you apply your deep conditioner as a base before you can apply maybe your cream, or if you do butters, then you can apply your butter after that, right? So for me, I would say get a leave-in conditioner and a deep conditioner, But if you're not able to get a leave-in conditioner, what do? I would say optimize the use of water, because the leave-in conditioner, there's a lot of water in it. So if you substitute with water, you're still fine, because water is a very good way to hydrate your hair. So when you want to moisturize, you start with water or aloe juice. You spritz your hair with the water, or after the shower, don't wipe off the water from your hair. Let it be, when it's still damp, then you apply your cream or your butter. You see, that's a way to kind of compromise. You don't have to have all those things, So a deep conditioning treatment is, it's a treatment that you use to, like I explained, put back, rejuvenate your curls. There are different types. There's some that are protein deep conditioners, some are moisture infusing deep conditioners, some are for damaged hair, all kinds. But what if you don't have access to the store-bought deep conditioner? What do? There are DIYs out there, so many recipes on the internet that you can, things that you get from your kitchen even, like olive oil, you mix it up with some honey, you apply on your hair, or avocado, aloe vera, yogurt, like so many different combinations of things that you can use to do a DIY deep conditioner. And when you apply it on your hair, if you don't have a heat cap, that's fine. You can just tie a plastic plastic bag on your head, and you go about doing your chores, and the body heat that's generated is going to heat up that product and enable it to penetrate into your hair, especially if you have low porosity hair, right? So a deep conditioner, I would say, is a must. It's something that you shouldn't skip on. And if you cannot get the store-bought ones, it's fine. Just go ahead and do your DIYs. It still works. It works, right? So that takes us to creams. I think that's the next one. So creams they kind of have the consistency of like, a thick body lotion, and they contain most creams contain ingredients called emollients, which are kind of used to moisturize the hair, and to a lot of people use creams for styling. So you would see like a twist and braid cream or whatever. I do use a cream that's kind of like, it's like a leave-in conditioning cream, And because I use that, I do not use a leave-in conditioner anymore. I've talked about that on this channel before, how I moisturize my hair. So it's my aloe juice, then the leave-in conditioning cream, it's by Cantu, and then after that my shea butter, and I'm done. So a cream is definitely something that it's nice to have, but what if you can't get it? It's good to have, but to me it's not like a must, especially because creams do tend to cause build-up, especially if you use them a lot. Since they contain emollients, they might, especially if you have like your hair has a low porosity, it might just kind of sit on your hair strands for a long time as you keep moisturizing. You're moisturizing every 3 days, every 4 days. You spritz your hair, apply cream, spritz your hair, apply cream, and it's just sitting there. I feel like it can be a lot. So to me, it's something that I wouldn't really say it's a must. Honestly, if you have a leave-in conditioner and a butter, I mean, depending on your hair type, you can certainly skip the cream, you know, if you cannot afford it, or if you don't have access to it. It's not a must-have, you know. So that takes us to butters and oils, right? So when I first went natural, I didn't even know that there were different kinds of oils out there. Like, I was so surprised to hear about, you know, like avocado oil. I mean, I probably only knew about olive oil. I heard about black Jamaican Jamaican black castor oil, right? And I remember when I first went natural, I wanted to get my hands on this oil so bad. I was looking everywhere for castor oil. I couldn't find it. I mean, castor oil, avocado oil, you know, almond oil, argan oil. You hear all these fancy oils out there, and it's like, you know, it's good to have, and certainly you can get them easily in the United States and maybe in some other parts of the world. But I do know for a fact that in some places it is hard to get your hands on this oil, and even if you do, they will be expensive. So I would say, you know, you don't really need all of them. If you can get your olive oil, if you have olive oil, you have castor oil, I think you're okay. You know, you don't really need all those oils. Besides, those oils, they kind of do almost the same thing. You know, okay, there's some of them that are like good for sealing in moisture, like castor oil. Some of them that are good, that penetrate into the strands, good for hot oil treatments like avocado oil. But you can still substitute with other things, right? So if you're watching a YouTube video and somebody's talking of using some oils that you don't have access to, don't feel like that's it, that you can't use something else. You can substitute with, you know, whatever oil that you have available. They almost do the same thing. And I would say the same thing for butters. I was surprised to hear about like mango butter. What kind of butter again? You know, this chebe butter that you hear about. The only one that I knew that I used to use, I still use to date, is shea butter. And it works perfectly for me. I use, like, if I could skip every other thing, but I would have my shea butter. I don't know, that's like a staple if you're a natural. It's affordable, you can find it almost everywhere. So don't be sleeping on this shea butter. It's, you know, it's a must have if you're natural, you know. You can use it to style your hair. I use it to style my hair all the time. I do beautiful twist outs, braid outs using just shea butter. It doesn't have to be some fancy twist cream or whatever, right? I hope that helps. You know, I don't want people, you know, feeling left out when they watch a video and there's all these products that they don't have access to. Because I certainly felt that way when I started my natural hair journey. You don't have to feel that way. You don't need all those things to have a successful hairstyle. You know, it's a successful hair journey, sorry. So do let me know in the comment section if you struggle to find natural hair products that you want in your part of the world, and what have you done to substitute, what are you using, and how is it working for you, okay? Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.